You. May I have your attention, please? Will the real Sam Prentice please stand up? I repeat, will the real Sam Prentice please stand up? We're gonna have a problem here.
Well. I was really getting into that banjo music just then. Well, anyway, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you are watching this. This is Sam Prentice back once again for another droid building expose. Today we are working on the Michael Baddeley Ping Egg Droid, which is just here. Track droid, really cool. Lots of challenges to overcome, I think, with this particular build. But the good news is I've got my friends here with me. I've got Jerry from 3D HP. I've got Jason. I've got Wilma Fingerdo and Ethan Wiener.
Hello. How's it going, everybody?
Oh, hello.
Ethan Wiener? Who's that?
My channel never went live, so I guess I deleted the wrong post. It's just sitting there.
And you're the one that told everybody to delete the post.
Yeah, delete the second one, not the most recent one, so I don't know what happened. But hello, everybody that's watching. If you can see me on my channel, please let me know, because I'm looking at my other screen. It's just waiting. But anyway.
Oh, what a nightmare. What a nightmare.
Oh,
Well, it actually might kick in, Jerry, because I think once you activate StreamYard, even if you delete that one, it still makes go through. So let's hope it does.
Nightmare. How's everybody doing anyway?
Real good.
Excellent. I have power.
Good.
So I have power and internet, so I'm okay right now.
That's great. So how's the build been going this week then, Mr. Tripod?
Really? I'm first?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I've had a week of, it was just not been my week. I had power outage at 1:15 in the morning. I guess someone hit a electrical pole and it came tumbling down. I was without power for 3 hours, destroyed a print. A whole bed of parts, actually. And then it went out again at 12 p.m. that same day, and I didn't have internet, zero upload for that time. So right now I'm scrambling to get parts printed. Right now this is the tracks being printed. I'm doing 30 at a time. And then on the Ender 5 Plus back there, I'm doing the shoulder blade, so to speak. So these are, you got to print out 60 of these. This is a TPU. I did a replacement hat, because we all know how bad bears suck. So I figured I would just go with another blue. And, it's, I think then, you could kind of like peek out a little bit. But, whoa, look at that. Oh, that's pretty cool.
Wow.
Right.
But this is the dome that finished about 2 a.m. last night. But, yeah, I think I'm a lot further behind than anyone else, but I'm hoping to catch up and have at least an assembled EggBot by the next time we stream. So
amazing. Well, I tell you what, then let's get Wilma Fingerdo on. Wilma, how are you today?
That's you, Tim.
That's me.
Yeah, look at your name.
Who changed my name?
Oh, that was me. I just
I was wondering what you were talking about.
I changed it when I came back, and Sam changed it. I didn't know that he changed it again.
Oh my goodness, that's gonna stick. Why am I afraid that's gonna stick? Well, I'm doing not bad. I got some pretty big parts started. I've got, the big parts are the ones that take a lot of time. I was proud. I was really happy with the way my dome went. right? So I got these. I got another large piece just finishing. And then over here, on my side here, I've got a whole box full of little parts yet, and I've got a few more little parts to go. But yeah, this is quite a really exciting challenge.
Awesome.
And the challenge for me has been to source some of the parts. I mean, I have the motors, I have the a lot of the couplings. I'm waiting, but I'm having trouble sourcing parts that you guys find easy to get down there, like the little rods and the magnets and the balls. Yeah, I'm ballless tonight, so I have no
rods
balls.
and balls, man, those are hard to source. Oh, by the way, I do actually have. I'm like Jerry. I do have a whole bunch of parts that didn't make it.
Cool.
So
yeah,
I got most of the drive parts. So.
Yeah, cool. And I got most, and I'm working badly. I'm working magically on my tracks right now, including I'm having a really good time on my CR6 SE printing TPU. It's beautiful.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Well, it's not as good as printing out 30 on a Genesis.
Oh, okay.
Genius.
Well,
I mean, Genius. Yeah.
On a Genius. Well, hey, what can I say? What can I say? Wilma Fingerdew has got to learn a bit yet.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you know what? Yeah. Speaking of balls, let's see what this man's got to say for himself. How are your balls of steel there, Jerry?
Well, I've got a head. I can do a tripod here, and I can even look out the eye there. See? But yeah, I've got the head done. I've got the body printed, and it's prime gray. It's not haven't went any further than that. And then I got a little video clip where I can show my progress on the lower part here, and then I'll show you. Let me run this real quick.
Take it to the next level.
Oh, it's just really getting into that as well.
Yeah, really. Wow.
And here's where I'm at, and this is very heavy. Yeah, I mean it's not too heavy, but it's got some substance to it. And yeah, it's coming along great. So there's lots more to do. I've got some more electronical parts to buy, but yeah, this is really awesome. I'm really happy that I'm this far along, and I can't wait to do the one after this. It might even be bigger, I hope. But yeah, this is really cool. I'm really happy with it. And
that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, I tell you what. Let's go on to James. I mean Jason, and just see where he's up to.
Well, I'm not as far along as Gary, but so I've got the dome done with some of the greebles here and a little bit of the lenses. There you go. Drop that off. And as far as the body goes, I'm up to about the tripod version. It's missing, one side.
Guys are missing a leg.
It's basically just fitted. I haven't soldered any of the motors or anything like that. I had a repeated failures yesterday, one right after another. All three printers just decided to do whatever they wanted, and that wasn't good for the prints I had going. And I felt it didn't get as bad. Well, I don't have the automatic part removal on the CR6 SE like Tripod does. But when parts fail,
it's a feature that people don't know how much I really enjoy.
that's about where I'm at. Just waiting on a few more things to come in. I did get the Lazy Susan done and the little motor mounted, and that was
Nice.
fun.
Cool.
Sure, I'll join in and say, it was fun playing with the balls and the little ones one at a time. But
And what about
And then you turn it
115?
It's a lot of-
out.
it's a lot of parts, and I actually had a few of them printed out like these little things. And then it was just, I just thought, let me look back on Mr. Badley's page to see if there's been any changes or updates. And sure enough, he did add some things, and these went from round to flat so that they would fit. Yeah. So, and I think the last update I saw was April 1st.
Yeah, nice
off the
April
top of my
Fools,
head,
right?
but
Oh, you got
April Fools, yeah. Yeah. So-
Yeah, they were quick print, and also that inside plate next to the body, he put a hole in there, little square box to run the wires through.
for the pass
And
through.
I had originally printed the files from a few weeks back, and I had to go drill a hole. I'm not going to reprint them. I popped a hole in it real quick with my drill.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's annoying. That's annoying. Well, the thing is, though, guys, we did say about this. We got to kind of get to grips with not going too quickly, because we did say last week we're just going to be working on the tracks. And well, I've got my tracks, but then I went down the road. I have actually printed 2 domes because I wasn't happy with the first one. This is the second one, and it's yellow PLA. That came out kind of quite well. And we just talk about my balls for a second. They're spinning around quite nicely, of course, which is wonderful. And then again, the body, that's it is what it is. It's almost there. And I also managed to get hold of these rods. Now, these are 6mm rods that I actually got off a server rack. There was a part that I found at work, and I was like, quickly grab that and take it apart and stuff. So I'm going to be moving around with those bits and pieces quite soon. Now, what I did want to show you guys very quickly, and I know it's been a conversation that we've been having today. Let me see if I can find the here it is. This is the page I want. Right, let me just share this very quickly with you. So this page is an eBay link. I'm hoping I'll be able to find the Chrome tab. eBay, there it is. Okay, so regarding the speed controllers, there it is. Regarding the speed controllers, this is what I'm going to be using, and it's a 2 to 4S lithium, what you'd call a LiPo or lipo battery style one. And as I say, they're super cheap. They're £9.23, or if you buy a couple, they get a bit cheaper. But these are shipping out of China. Now, you don't have to use these, but what it does allow is that it's a speed controller with 2 motors that you can connect to it. So what you'll see here, let me try and zoom in on this. You've got your left and right motor, which are your normal DC motors. Then you've got your little brains that are here. This cable here is your positive and negative. You've got a switch on this as well. And this bit here is maybe a left or right motor. You can pick which one it is. And that will also feed the power to your receiver. Okay. And then this yellow cable is the other motor. So it's quite a nice little dinky setup there for not a lot of money. And they're 20 amps. So it's huge ampage for something that we're never going to run at that ampage, but you're probably pushing an amp, if that, on those little motors. But they are relatively cheap. And
if you go scroll back up, so that connector in the left, it's right there. That's called a Dean's connector. So anyone that's looking at that is specific to the RC car industry back in the day, and they're still using it now. So Dean's, you're going to want to look that up. It's spelled DEANS. So Dean's connector.
Yeah. So so it's a dual speed controller. I mean, you can use any dual speed controller as long as it's over maybe 2 amp. I would say for these particular ones, and of course we are going to be running. This was something we were talking about earlier, and what I'll do very quickly is I'll share this eBay link. It is a UK eBay link, but it is out of China. So if I'd share it across all the channels, give me 2 seconds. And if you want to crack on and order one of those, it took about a week to get to me in the UK. So, I was pretty happy with that. And I bought 2 of them, and I'm yet to power them up, but they look pretty awesome. So I'm quite happy with that. So in regards to the lipo battery, we're saying that does up to a 4S, right? Let me just check that. Yeah, that'll do between 2 and 4S on a lithium battery. So I think that's 11.1 volts, right?
I have to do the math on that.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I think it's about 11 volts, and of course we're putting into these are 12-volt motors. So undercurrent it, undervoltage it slightly is fine. Of course, they will run at a reasonable speed. I did put a short video up on the Badley website this week of the tracks going around, and they are surprisingly quiet in comparison to other stuff that I've printed. But the TPU, I would say, is for some, not for everybody. And I know there's always some sarcastic little shit out there that wants to, crap on your day. I wasn't going to start printing 30 of them at a time. It just wasn't going to happen. It wasn't feasible for me to do that. Although tripod,
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. Well, I mean, like I say, that's great. If that works for you, let's pull you up there a second. If that works for you and that doesn't start toppling over, and what I noticed about these, if you don't have a really good brim on that, okay, you'll find that when you get towards the top, they start tipping. And I had a bunch of failures when I tried to print 5 at a time. I had it sort of going sort of left to right, and it did have a few little issues there. But again, I hope you're time-lapsing this, because if you do get a fail next week, that's going to be your main video, right?
It could be.
But, it's time-consuming. They take each of those tracks is about an hour to print each, or less, depending on what your infills and stuff are. I did it on the Q5 printer, one at a time, over 60 hours. And each time I walked past it, it'd finish one, hit the button, printed it again. I had 1 or 2 failures. But, TPU, exotic, it's not an exotic filament, but those kind of filaments, I guess, are going to be a little bit temperamental with the printing. And what are you using for yours?
I'm doing 95.
I've got the 85A Yo-Yu I bought off Amazon.
Oh, what brand? Mine's Priline.
Is this a massive? So you would have been able to answer what that voltage question was, but it's important, because what you don't want to be doing is, it's almost like sticking a 12-volt board into a 24-volt mean well. You're going to cook the board, aren't you? So understanding the voltages. Now, we're supposed to be teaching people stuff here. Understanding the voltages are going to be important. And
it's been a long time since I've done that. Teaching people.
Exactly.
Evidently, my YouTube started streaming 13 minutes ago, and we've been live for 19. So evidently it worked, but something's wrong with YouTube, and I didn't go live when I should have, like we normally do.
But at least it did come up. So.
Yeah, it is there now.
Cool.
But the link I had it wasn't running.
Is your plan to use the same remotes that you used on the little baby R2s?
That's what I was going to do. Use the same controller and.
Sounds good. Yeah, sounds good. So you've got mixing on those as well. I did buy. So a couple of things happened this week. I did buy. Let me see if I can find this. I did buy a couple of cheap off Hobby King. Actually, I did buy a couple of cheap 6-channel radios, and they worked out at, I think it might have been a 5 or a 6-channel, at $20 each. So I'm going to be. Yeah, so I'm going to be, I'm gifting a few of these to suppliers and people that have worked with me in 3D printing and stuff. So I'm shipping those out this week. And obviously I wanted to ship them something, with various, working parts. And then I came across this little board. Now, you probably won't be able to see that clearly, but I'll, let me jump up for a sec. Let's see if I can get you this camera. This is probably the best one.
Wall of printers.
Okay. Yeah, it's a wall of printers. So I got this little board. It's not great, is it? I've got this little board here. And what this is a Bluetooth module that you can plug your servos and speed controllers into. So I'm playing around with it at the moment. It arrived, I guess it arrived yesterday. It's got a 3D printed part on the back here, and it's got 7 inputs on it. So and it's also got things like it's got it's got 2 LEDs, and it's got a machine gun firing element on it as well. So you can do a whole bunch of different stuff with this, but it came with no instructions. So
Nice.
and I've got this horrible feeling that it won't connect to an Apple iPhone. It did connect to my computer earlier, my MacBook earlier, but it doesn't seem to do too much more than that. So I'm going to try and find some instructions. I'm going to try and find the format. I'm going to try and find some information on how that works. But how cool would it be if for, I think it was about $9, everybody pretty much has an iPhone or a phone of some sort now. What if you sent them the item that cost you $9? You don't have to buy, so this is what I'm thinking is I wouldn't have to buy an RC setup for them. I could just ship that and they can use their own phone. So,
Is there a generic app or something that you would use with that?
Yeah, it was. So on the website that I found it on, and it was way down deep in AliExpress, finally came across this thing, and it said, look for the API below, and you scroll down and there's nothing there. So I imagine I'll probably use, there's a ton of developers out there that are going to have little apps and stuff that you're going to be, have a remote control on. So you'd have an RC control on your iPhone or Android. So I'm going to try and use something that's kind of there already out there at the moment. I just read Nonstick said that Apple has Bluetooth and it doesn't play ball with Bluetooth. Yeah, I get that. But the MacBook did connect to the module. It did show the module and stuff. So, I'm hopeful that maybe I'm going to get something out of that. The guys on the Badley site are doing stuff with Arduinos and whatnot. But to be honest, if it's going to cost you more than $20, and I know that I can find a 6 or 5 channel radio that does mixing for $20, I'm probably better off buying the radio, right?
Yeah. What version of Bluetooth is it? Because the versions dictate the range, and plus it doesn't. Does it have a spot?
This is all I got. This is what I got.
Okay. Yeah. So you don't no spec sheet or anything, huh?
Nothing at all. I mean, there's some self-explanatory stuff on there, like voltage, but that's all I got.
Okay. Yeah, because your version of your Bluetooth would dictate the range, and that's why a lot of like drones and stuff use the Wi-Fi because the range is better. But it definitely is. It's curious.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want to run anything bigger than the little baby droids on them. But it's very similar to the Sphero droid that I know you've got tripods, and that's run off. This one's run off the. I think this is Bluetooth. Yeah, it's definitely Bluetooth.
It's Bluetooth because they had a pair to it.
That's it. So, and it's going to be a very similar kind of control setup to that. And if this one doesn't work, then I'm going to keep foraging and trying to find something that actually will work for this application. And again, if I can get the mixing right, that's the other thing is whether or not that Bluetooth module would be able to do the mixing for the channels. We just don't know. So, So there we go. Any questions thus far?
You don't need to post that.
Post
what?
Silence.
Oh.
Huh?
Well, you killed it early there, Jerry.
What's that?
La, 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 la. It's the motherfucker Johnny Baby G.
Yeah.
That's my dedicated button on his stream deck.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
That's the middle button, right? Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, that's the dedicated button.
You can't see this. It is the middle button, but it's tripod when he was younger with a mullet.
Yeah.
So I'm well happy with that. In fact, I should. So earlier on today, although you guys probably didn't see it, I did an atrocious live stream with Creality. Oh, there you go. Yeah, that was me just before drinking because
typically you would need a lot to drink before you go on that.
And it was typically. I mean, let's be fair, right? G-Tech, right? Their printers weren't brilliant, but the filament was okay, right?
Bring me battery.
Spring was amazing as someone that would interview you, and her English was pretty good. The guy that interviewed me today, I've had people messaging me complaining about his style. what they think of him, a whole load of complicated swear words of this particular chap. And, you know, I do enjoy doing them because I kind of get to mess around and stuff and, you know, do what I do. But, yeah, maybe we should get Ethan Weiner on there next time, right? Is that what I said?
Well, we got Uncle Buck on here now, so
Okay.
that's you.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I like that. Very funny. Yeah, I might start selling curtain poles or curtain. Is it curtain poles? Curtain,
No, that was planes, trains, and automobiles.
Oh, it was, wasn't it?
Shower
Yeah.
curtain rings.
Wow.
Anyways, you were on Creality's.
Yes, I was on this.
stream.
I was on this live stream, and this is what I was saying last week. They have various people. I was on with Sebastian, the guy that did the creality firmware, and he was awesome, but he was late, and we had to pre-write these questions. They're like, "Do you want to do it?" And I was like, "Yeah, okay, that'd be fun." So I wrote these questions, and all they did is read. So he asked like a question on, "Will you be producing motherboards with inbuilt UART?" And then they basically read off what could only be described as a Wikipedia page about what UART was to him. And I just went, "You've been schooled." And he went, "Yes, I know, haven't I?" And then he went, "Here we go. This is Jack is a joke." Yeah, that was that guy. So, yeah, man, it was just bizarre, just really bizarre. And I just didn't know what to do afterwards because there was just like 30 seconds of silence. So I started plugging the channel. I started plugging, you know, that we're going live tonight, all that kind of craziness. But it was so rushed. And certainly when you tuned into Creality's channel this morning, the sounds were so loud. Then I was getting messages from people saying, "Did you know they're featuring you as this kind of person saying happy birthday and stuff," which I didn't know that they were going to do that. So yeah, it was a bit bizarre, a bit of a bizarre day today, and they didn't tell me a time to come on, so I waited for 4 hours for them to tell me. Yeah, seriously, because I was like, I needed to go to like the post office. I had things to do, and I was like, no one's told me a time yet. So yeah, but you could tell that there was animosity in the air. I think
They had two streams going on in the rooms next to each
talking
other.
background.
You had
Didn't they?
they're both presenting the same things.
Yeah.
It was like
And
it was such a mess.
Give things
Very good.
away to the viewers watching. Spin the wheel. Have the Google Doc. Make them be in chat and do it fairly.
Yeah.
Don't pop up questions and have people freak out.
What I
Oh,
really
it's
loved,
hilarious.
though, what I really loved was people would just coming on and going, "What are you giving away and when?" And that just really cracked me up. So I was like, "Hang on a minute."
Yeah.
So it's not about the content, and they try to play this out like it was kind of like a big kind of Apple event, and there's people with the delegates sitting down, and they're all watching. The guy comes up, there's a dancer, and all this kind of crazy stuff was going on, and I kind of got a bit excited by it. I was like, "Oh, what are they going to bring out? Is there going to be something awesome here?" And basically, it was a CR6 that was a little bit bigger, that was kind of like the Max, but not. And it's the CR10. I don't know what they called it.
It's a smart something. Yeah, it's a CR10 with CR6.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. So that was interesting. And then I was I sort of bought into this cloud thing that they're trying to do, the cloud printing. And I was like, okay, this sounds interesting. But I think all they're trying to do is basically do what Octopi's been doing for the last 5 years and make that kind of their own software. So I don't know. The smart. So we shall see what happens with that. But they enticed me in by saying that they were going to give me a CR30. Then they told me that I wasn't at the correct category for their influencers. And I was like, what are you even saying? And then this is even funnier. Then someone else reached out, added me as a friend on Facebook, as they often do. Hi, would you like a an Ender 3 Max? To which I went, yes. And this is to review. I went, yes. And they said, okay, are you in the US? No. Would you like a Ender 3 V2? And I've just got one of those. So I'm like, yeah, I would actually. Yeah, go on then. Maybe I'll do a giveaway. That's the idea of it. And then she didn't message me back again. So yeah, but it's not always about the 10,000 subscribers.
No.
That is myth. That is a myth.
We proved that wrong when we were chatting offline yesterday, because we went through different content creators of different age groups and demographics, right? So I really think that Sam has a niche with what he does, and Phil fits that demographic where
it depends on the person.
It doesn't matter.
It's the hair. It's all about the hair.
Yeah. The more hair.
Yeah. And needless to say, you know, I have now got 10 creality printers. It's getting out of hand, but you know, it is what it is. So
let's see again. Yeah. I just made you.
Oh, you want to see again? Okay, over there. Yeah. So that's this room.
Wow.
That's the ones that I can't. The ones that are in the house, I can't physically get in here. And yeah, the only cubics are being upgraded tomorrow with Tim's suggested video. So I'm going to be doing the TMC drivers on that, because it sounds. And I forgot that I said that it sounded like a lawnmower on crack was the wording that I used, and I totally forgot that I said that. And then somebody then commented lawnmower on crack, laugh out loud, and I thought, oh yeah, I did say that, didn't I? So I don't know quite where that came from, but
yeah, you have to rewatch some of your live streams.
I never ever do, because once it's committed, you're kind of there, and that, I guess that's the difference. We've had various conversations, you and I, Tripod, about live versus pre-recorded, and you know, sometimes I do a mix of the two, and some people know, some people don't. So you know. It's it's interesting, but what's this? Are they sadly, or they really are, and that is unfortunate. If you float the boat, then it's fantastic, and then you've got other people out there that are really trying their hardest to help you and to get you up. You don't, mate. Honestly, Matt, you're about the G-Tech stuff. That's what you're about, dude. And I tell you what. Since spring's gone, no one is talking to me now from G-Tech. No. Not a bean, nothing at all. And I reached out a couple of times because I was like, I've got this idea, I was thinking about that, or can I get some support on the 30M thing that you sent me, because it doesn't work. And it needs marling on it, really, I think, to make it work properly. And no, nothing. Stonewalled by them. And I can only put it down to my association with Tripod.
Yeah, they're never gonna want me to review a printer again. I mean, okay, it printed great. It just, the build quality sucks. I'm sorry. It's you know, you got 3 extrude. You know, I got the A10T. It looks great in the pictures on their website, but when you get it home, it's like, what kind of shit is this? You know, it's like. It's built like crap. Yours, it looked like it was built better than mine. I mean, plastic extruders. It was just but the blending worked great. It's just the purge block took up half the plate, and it still didn't purge, and I still need to purge more than this. So, I mean, the color mixing.
So I think you're going to be, so just a couple of those messages there, you are going to be seeing spring quite soon, I would say. She's not gone away. Ooh. Hey, that looks good. So is that a G-Tech machine?
Yeah, that was G-Tech.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, it actually came out, this is a separation. Yeah. You know, actually I should use the other camera. This is just a laptop camera, but it literally, when you have pre-sliced files, and the G-Tech did a great job. It was just the white, because the white it bleeds into it, and even the eyeballs came out pretty well too. But it's just the build quality. I don't trust it lasting. I mean, literally, how hard is it to get just some decent springs underneath that bed? Mm-hmm. I mean, just little things like that. But yeah, it's I mean.
So so the talking of springs and stuff, right? Not the person spring, and I think you're going to be seeing her sooner rather than later, by the way, because I know she's currently searching for employment. But I was in a conference meeting this week, and we were talking to somebody that had worked with an aerospace company, and they said that part of their cost saving, they lightened the in-flight manual, and it saved them $250,000 per year due to the weight capacity. So I'm just wondering if the springs that they install on all these little crappy creality printers, if the saving on that is actually worth the hassle for them. I don't think it is.
No, I mean on the Ender 5 Plus, I put just silicone standoffs on there, and I haven't had to level that bed in 6 months. So,
no, that's good.
Yeah, I mean, the springs just weaken over time, and when I see something that looks like it came out of a ballpoint pen that they shoved in there to level your bed, it's just come on. What's
JG, the Max, I haven't printed with it in 3 or 4 days, but it's going fine and everything's working good. I just have so much stuff. I try to print for video stuff and not just random prints. So yeah, we're still working good.
That's good.
Wow. So J5 was going to go on the GTEC stream, but the printer broke and never worked well again. Yeah, that's same one as mine. I mean, it's the extruders on the top doesn't even look like there's a lever to pull to put the filament in. I mean, it's hidden in there, and you look up, and you're like, oh, there is a lever. But when you squeeze it, it feels like it's just going to snap.
Wow.
Anyways, so your experience, Uncle Buck, was not the best on Creality's live stream. I didn't even know that you were going to do it. When did you get the invite to go on? That's you, Sam. Your uncle.
Oh, when did I get the invite? What the Creality? Sorry, the Creality or the GTEC?
The Creality today.
Oh, I got about a week ago. They said, "Do you fancy coming on and doing this?" And I was like, "Yeah, okay, sure, why not?" And then I had to do this awful pre-record of me reading from the script, basically what they wanted me to say. But to be honest, I don't mind saying happy birthday. It's not a big deal. And they didn't actually even use the audio; they just Chinese subtitles all the stuff. But I mean, like I say, the only saving grace was I was on the same feed as Naomi Wu, Joe Telling, and a bunch of other YouTubers that I don't know of. And I only know who I know. I don't know everybody. I don't know. Everyone keeps going on about Chep. Don't know him. I haven't seen him stream. Don't know nothing about it. So
where was my invite? I mean,
you got. Hang on. Was that Bruno Mars?
Oh, you guys don't.
It was Bruno. We love a bit of Bruno. Oh my word!
Yeah, I'm very saddened that they didn't give me an invite.
Well, I asked if you were invited, and they said, "Can we not talk about that subject again, please?" So I'm like, okay, right, fair enough.
Jeff Hurkin says I'm streaming. I started 13 minutes late. I'm watching my screen. I am streaming. Both of them must be up there, but I deleted one because Tim had made a mistake when he scheduled it, and he duplicated it. And I deleted one. But now one of them is streaming, but I don't know about the other one. So one of them works, one don't. But it started 13 minutes late for some reason.
Shame on you, Wilma.
Good thing Wilma's here.
Hopefully it won't happen again.
Yeah. But yeah, it was such a cluster this morning with everything happening. I was like this when Sam and myself were invited over a year ago with Ben, and I figured the girl's name. It was not the best. Corey. But they were very pleasant. Yeah, they were very pleasant. And now it's like you go. I don't even watch their people that they invite anymore. Sorry, I didn't. If you would have known, I would have watched your. But yeah, it's because they don't even interact really. They just smile, nod, and okay, this is what we're doing. But anyways, we're here to talk about droids, not always 3D.
Yeah, I reposted a link from Mr. Fidelli, Mr. Bagley's live stream or his Patreon. If anybody would like to join along with us and build a building for as low as $5 a month, you can join his Patreon and show up a little bit. The link is out there on all the channels. All these guys put it on their channels.
There was no way that we couldn't not talk about Creality's 7th birthday. So, I think
I honestly thought they were going to release more than 3 printers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a bit. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Yeah, I mean,
that's this week for Creality, right? So they'll have another 30 by the end of the year.
And they won't retire any other one. So now their lineup is like 40 printers.
Yeah. 90% of them are the same printer. One's taller, one's shorter, one's wider, one's got a new extruder.
Yeah.
Talking of that, if we're going to talk about printers for a minute, I will show you something. Here we were. Right, hang on. Let me just share this with you. Now, this is a UK company, and I was given this information by, I can't remember who it was now, but I thought this was kind of cool. So this is a company called Manchester3D.co.uk, and they do this thing called an Enzilla. And they basically send you the extrusion to make up a massive 3D printer. Now, I guess, okay, there's pros and cons to this, of course, because if you've paid £150 for that printer and then you've paid another, that's actually for the printer. You don't want to be paying more than 300 quid. So let's say this V2 is a good example, but maybe a better example. There is kits that they do to make this thing bigger. So you go up to 300. So I thought that was kind of cool. And then I was sort of looking through it and I was like, oh, what else do they do? And then they do the 400. So they give you the build plate and everything to set this up as a 400 printer. So, and not for a huge amount of money, but of course you've got to be careful that, do you want to buy another printer, or actually are you wanting to upgrade this yourself? So I was kind of interested with that, and I've reached out to them, and I might end up. Was it you, Carl, that sent me this link? But I reached out to them, and I was sort of talking with them about maybe picking one of these up and stuff. So it's well worth a look. But I just wanted to share that very quickly before we carry on with the droid talk.
Yeah, here in the U.S., there's Mark from the Ender Extender. I had him on my live stream last year. That he has a kit where he takes Ender trees, he mods them in all different ways. The Ender Extender. He has a regular website. He went from his garage and moved into a big, good-sized building, so he's been very busy. Mark Williamson is his name.
Thank you, Carl. I appreciate that, mate.
I think on Facebook it's called the XL Builders Club. Is what it's called on Facebook, the group. Hello, Jake.
Good to see you, Jake.
Michael Kaplan, Carl.
Jake and I would troll at the same time on some live streams. So good to see you doing.
Right from Phoenix, Shadow.
What we got here? Shadow Thing, Commander 3v2 producing. You got a lot of squish going on in your first layer.
I saw that.
Tim and Jason, you're being pretty quiet there. Speak up. Or James, whichever, Jason or James.
Whatever you want to call me, Jerry.
I have a new name.
Anyways, my parts are coming in. Like I said, it was a very chaotic week for me, and plus I got the shot in the arm on yesterday.
Good job.
You didn't get it from that one place that got shut down due to the side effects, right? That's not the you went to.
Well, I mean, no, not yet. Anyways, and well, the thing is actually the arm is sore more than normal because I'm using them as my legs, and it's like sleeping on it was not happening. But I all of a sudden got like a hot flash today, but so far not too bad. But I go for my second one in 3 weeks. Hopefully there won't be a third.
I'm waiting to see who's left after everyone gets the vaccines, and then we'll see. We'll see which one I go for.
I would normally be with you, Jason, but my oncologist was like, "You should go."
Yeah, that's true.
What do you got there, Jerry?
I got all the magnets epoxied in. I bought them off eBay, and I went around. I made sure the magnets were, they attracted to each other, and then I put epoxy each one of these holes with a chopstick.
Each other.
Yeah. So
sorry, it was a perfect comment. It was good. It's not. I love it.
Anyway, I got that side put on, and then the other side, so that this side would attract to it, I took a black magic marker and I put a magic marker on each one of them. Then I epoxied these simply grabs it and holds it down. And then what I haven't done yet is you put little bolts in here, and the bolts stick up. So when this piece here is glued to the dome, when you drop it on, it lines up on the holes and the magnets attach, and then it grabs. So, and I've got the little motor I got off the
top piece.
I hadn't got that far actually with that, so I did wonder how those two did attach. Which motor did you get there, Jerry, as well? Because that's another thing I've not purchased yet.
It's a common little hobby motor you can get off Amazon. Mr. Showed me a screenshot what it looked like, and they're all over Amazon. Just typical little motor.
It's a 6-volt motor.
So how are you powering that off a step down? Is there a butt connector?
I don't know at the moment. I haven't got the car. That's a couple weeks from now.
No, you're gonna have to add a buck converter in once you get the power up through the slip ring.
But yeah, this will simply go in here like this, and then lock down.
Jerry, I watched Michael Badadley's video today, and prior to gluing that into the dome, you got to put the screws in through the top piece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. They put the screws in here. That way you can't put them in after the fact. And then they just drop in the slot here. Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, Bear, what are you doing?
Hey, Bear.
He was actually looking at the computer when you guys were saying it.
Hey, Bear, what are you doing?
Oh!
He's a good doggy.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Yep.
Yeah, this thing's, like I said, it's got some weight to it. It's very well constructed. It's a great design. So, anyway. And when I printed the tracks, I test printed 5 of them, and then they printed 5 on my hypercube. So I loaded up the bed with 55. And I take it back. They got about halfway done. They come unstuck from the PEI, and then I had a big blob I mentioned last week. The hot end's a mess. Took over an hour to clean it up. Once I got it done, I got some nanopolymer out. I slapped on nanopolymer, reloaded the 55. They printed fine, except for the last 5 failed halfway up for some reason. So then I threw them on the FL Sun Delta, and they finished fine. So, and whether you use the 85A or the 95, I think it's called, either one would work. But as Sam was mentioning, if you use 85, they might have a little more gripping strength on the floor. And since I had both TPUs, I went ahead and done the 85. And they go together with the brass pins real easy. Just, if you press them in, take a pair of pliers or something to finish and push them all the way in, but they work great. So I put these on this morning, the tracks on it.
What gauge wire did you solder to the motors, Jerry?
Just some generic wire I had laying around that's like everything else on my printers. You got the big packages where they're all different colors and you pull them off. It's male on one end, female on the other. I just clip off the connector and use that. It's all fairly small gauge wire, so it should be fine. It's just as heavy as what little motor has on it, but if for some reason you get hopped, I'm not replacing, but I think it's okay.
So what I'm going to do, guys, I'm just going to post the Streamlab link out to everybody now. And if anybody does want to drop in and let us know how you're getting on with your prints, if you're working on this or if you're working on one of the previous droids, let us know what you're working on. There's been a few people that have reached out and said, I'm still working on the R2. I hope to get this finished. Well, we want to hear from you. We want to see where you're up to. I've been printing these little droids because the one that I made for the actual one that I made for the Rise of Skywalker, which is a blue one. It's not this one, but it's a blue one. I wanted those as my droids that I'm going to keep. So I actually printed out the these bases as well. I didn't know if you guys saw these bases, but what happens is the wheels basically slot into here, and you can put them up on the wall. So I'm probably going to have them displayed. So, but what Badley had is that the reason he designed these is because he ran out of floor space, and it totally makes sense to do that. So this is kind of like what R2 would have been sat on as like a docking bay. So it's a nice sort of display piece as well. And I think they also have name badges as well if you want to create a name badge. So that's pretty cool. Worth a look at. We do have people dropping in.
We got 2 people.
Hey guys,
How you doing?
Hey,
Dennis.
you did good today, Sam. It was funny. I was cracking up.
I'm glad you think so. Was it the bit where I started smashing the keyboard into my face, or the fact that no one was saying anything and I just couldn't help myself?
Yeah, it was kind of crazy. So I've got.
Hey,
mine
Dennis.
going. Yeah.
Thank you for the link to those rods last week. I ordered them off eBay, but then they messaged me 2 days later they ran out. I found them on Amazon.
Wow.
But yeah, the link was good until it wasn't, but I found them.
Well, sorry. I got mine in already. I'm like Sam. I'm printing my tracks one at a time. I tried printing more, and they started wobbling. And after losing a bunch of them, I'm like one at a time. So, but I've got everything going. I mean, I've got domes and bodies and
cool.
You're doing really well. You're doing. I mean, I'm personally looking forward to Tripod's failure, as I'm going to be calling it.
Yeah. I tried from 5, and I did 5 that went real well, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go for it. And then they got about up to the last quarter, and they all went, poof, and I'm like, yeah, done with that. Back to 1. So.
Yeah, I put nanopolymer on the bed. That they held them on like gold, like steel.
Yeah, I use nanopolymer on everything, but I'm doing mine in orange.
Nice color.
Oh, that's cool.
Nice.
So,
Nice.
But yeah,
Very nice.
but I'm still waiting on the little rods to come in for that and some other parts. And Sam, I sent you a link to Banggood to see.
Yeah, I've replied.
Okay, good, because everything comes from China for that speed controller, and it's saying 2 months basically. And I'm like, let me look other places. So.
Yeah, so I mean, you want a dual one if you can. You can get away with 2 singles, but that was the one that was suggested to me. So you know what? If it ain't broke, I'm not going to try and fix it. It's
right.
Let's go with what we should do. So I was just trying to get Spring on. She's online at the moment, so but she's traveling. So, but what I was just going to say about that TPU, I think now when you printed yours, Jerry, has that HBot got a swinging bed?
What's that? Oh no, on the Hypercube it's stationary. The Hypercube just goes up and down. The bed moves. The bed isn't going back and forth.
So I think
the same with the Delta.
Okay, I think there's something in that, because what you've got is obviously as this is going like this, and you're working 2 different poles. I think that's when you're going to get those issues. So again, I kept having on the FL Sun, it was there and it was just flicking it around, and you'd start getting this kind of build up and stuff. So we'll see how Tripod gets on.
Mine fell over on my Ender 5. So
I can already hear the disappointment if I succeed. So, and if I fail, it'll be still a disappointment. So it doesn't matter if I win or lose.
I'm waiting for Tripod to get online and message everybody. Hey, there was a tornado, and anyway.
I was just going through shit the last couple of days here, man. It sucked. When you have absolutely no upload, you have 0 megabits per second. It's worse than, it's just as bad as having no download, because runaway communication.
Do you ever have it?
It's the motherfucker Johnny Baby.
Do you ever have a day, Tripod, where everything works?
We can put on here?
I do have those days. It's just not that often.
Days that end in R?
Maybe. Yeah, it's
Dennis, have you got any questions at this point, or are you pretty much set up?
I'm pretty good to get the speed controller issue figured out, and just still printing. And I've got a couple boxes of little parts of printing. I'm getting down to the end of the printing part, so just waiting on parts. I'm good.
Smart. That's good.
I think that's a big challenge.
Mine fell over on an Ender 5, so I don't think the bed slinger has anything to do with it. So
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it might just be a contributing factor. I don't know. We shall see. We shall see what. But I mean, I've seen people go, it printed fine on mine, but I just, it just wasn't working with me. It might be a retraction thing. It is a tricky material to print with, certainly if you're not used to it. But then again, you get some people that just get away with it. So you might be really, really lucky.
I lost 55. I lost 55.
That's where Sam is saying that to me. I'm gonna get lucky.
You might get lucky.
I think part of it is how many.
Through and had to clean up the mess, and then when I reprinted them, then the second time around. So, and then once they were fine, I failed halfway up.
And I
Henry's
think
not
part of it
building
is
one?
how many walls you have. It'll certainly help with the TPU. The more walls you have, it'll keep it from flexing as much.
Yeah,
If you
I'm feeling 333 at 15 infill.
Yeah, like 5 walls on TPU. If you're gonna do something, that's maybe over 50 mil, it seems to help. At least on if I print like on the CR6, where it's a bed slinger, it seems to help.
Okay.
Cool.
But
It's good info.
yeah,
Keep going.
Yeah, I mean, I did have the touch of the tripods
Together.
this week with my CR6. I did have a touch of the tripods, and I did have a blockage on my CR6 this week.
Wow.
And I cried myself to sleep, and woke up in the morning and got on with it. Hey, look who it is! It's Henry. He's the winner
Hello.
of the Creality printer today,
Hello,
right?
Henry.
all right.
Hey, Henry.
Did you win, Henry? Again?
Yeah. Morning and got on with it. Hey, look who it is! It's Henry.
All right, someone needs to tell
Hello.
Henry, turn off your sound there for a second.
Oh, sorry. Is it 1 second?
Well, how you doing?
Henry wins all the time.
Is it better?
Henry
Hello,
and Montown. Henry and Montown win everything.
hello.
Congratulations.
I watched Sam. I watched your stream this morning. I was like, oh my god. Yeah. Like what happened? Like I think they sent you the question, right?
Yeah.
They actually asked me to translate it, and I'm like, dude, it's like that's not the answer. It's wrong. It's like Can I suggest them the right answer? But they're like, it's too late.
Yeah, it was like because what I'd asked, one of the questions was, are you thinking about installing a camera into the printer? I've kind of had this idea of, wouldn't it be good if there was a printer sort of on the extruder or even on the nozzle, or part of the printer that you could kind of time lapse your stuff. That was kind of what I was getting at. And they just went on about the clouds, and they went on about that you could put a camera on it, and I was like, okay. So they weren't getting my flow, is what I'm saying.
No, I actually told them, it's like, bring me on, I'll translate it for you, like English, Chinese, whatever, and then it won't be like that awkward, right? I'm like,
who changed his name?
Yeah, and then the GPL, that was hilarious. So I'm like,
That's
what
a
was that,
Tim
sorry?
thing, I bet.
like I think Sebastian was asking a question about whether they're going to include UART in their development board, and then I'm like, and then they give me an answer of like, about GPIO, it's like low cost, whatever, and I'm like, it didn't really answer the question. I'm like,
Isn't this Sebastian we know from the firmware?
Yes.
Oh my god.
So I was on with him, and then I just went, "You've been schooled, Sebastian," and he went, "Yes, I think so," because he's really dry wit as well. He goes, "Yes, I think so," and it was great. I mean, if someone's got the link to that interview, it was funny, but also cringeworthy as well.
Yeah,
I had to go back and rewatch because I did not know that both of you were going to be on. Otherwise, I would have watched it. What time was it in the morning, our time in the US?
It's near the end. Like,
it was. Oh, I gave up because it was such a shit show. I gave up watching because it was like everyone was complaining about the latency. I was typing something. It took like 10 seconds for my answer to come up. I'm like, there's no way I could win anything on this.
Yeah, but I was a bit lucky. I was lucky because I was streaming from the green room. I was streaming already from the green room, so I got the questions 10 seconds before everybody else.
And I did one from Filament, and then Brian said Brian went around screen. It's like on my YouTube, Brian, so I don't know what happened there.
Yeah.
But yeah, they didn't have a wheel. They have a wheel. Everybody pull out a Google Doc and be present to win. And don't post it a month early. That way, it spared everybody watching that they spin a wheel.
I think at some point they were like posting the question, and then they only pick it after the question was posted. I'm like, well, at that point, it's just like luck of a draw to try it.
Yeah.
Well, Banggood was in the next room, weren't they?
No, they're actually in the same. They're actually in the same room because I actually followed them on the WeChat group from another chat group, and then someone actually shot a short video. It was one conference room. They have 3 table, literally like 2 meters aside.
And they were both showing the same resin printer at the same time.
Yeah, and they're asking the same question. And then I actually saw you post it, and then you said you give up, and then you left.
I'm like, I'm dropping. I don't need another printer.
Yeah, I know.
You know what? You guys can have fun with this because I'm like, when I saw how long it took for my, because I was on the phone and I was on the computer trying to decipher the two streams, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I typed it and I counted how long it took. It was 10-second delay I had. There was absolutely no way I was going to win anything. I even knew they were going to say the bed size measurements. I had it pre-typed. And as soon as I heard it, I hit enter. And I saw there was 30 of them ahead of me.
Yeah.
It might not even show up yet.
Non-fan was supposed to win the CR 200B, right? Like he posted it. It appeared on the first person. But then somehow whoever was on picked the next person.
Go ahead, John.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. But the thing is, though, I got into a bit of a frenzy because I was on. Is it Tin Top? There's another thing, another creality reseller, and I don't even know what I was going for. But I was just everyone was putting these words. I was going, yeah, just bang, bang, bang. Then I won it, and I was like, what is it? I've won 200 points, and I was like, what are the points? And then someone messaged me. I think it might be Carl or non-fan, and they just went. Yeah, it's like 20 pence. It's worth like $2 or something. It's worth nothing. I was like, and then they messaged me since, and I was just like, oh, right, okay. I haven't won a printer then. It's weird. It's weird. Here we go. Jack. So I was on with Jack. Yeah, it was. Oh my word. Yeah, it's. I don't know. Fair play to them, but I did say this to them a long time ago. There was one guy there and his English was actually really, really good. And then the cloud guy came on and his English was amazing. And I was like, why is this guy who can present really well not doing the whole show?
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. Do you know that guy, Henry?
I actually don't know. It's like, I think he's one of the person who work on the Creality Cloud, but he's actually from a separate department, not from the oversee marketing department. So we really should get Creality to get him on more often, right? So
I've always wondered that when they have a guest come in, he's speaking Chinese, and the guy next to him is translating. If he's not sitting there saying, this sucks, I don't want to be on camera, I don't want to be here, and then a translator is saying something different. I wonder if that ever happens. For people that are watching that can understand him, if he's actually saying what he's translating.
They actually need somebody who actually understand. Well, first of all, they have decent English. I don't expect perfect English from them, right? And understand printer and not simply just allowing the guests to talk one thing and then they're just like, yeah, and then move on to the next thing. It's kind of disrespectful, or I don't know what you call that. It's kind of.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree with that. But, I'd like to see more of Naomi Wu when my wife's not around. That would be, that would when I say more of her, but, it's good. But again, her English is pretty good. And, that's why she brings in the big bucks, I'm sure. But what's this? Apprentice, the CR30 giveaway was on, that's it. Yeah. That was the...
the question was, what's it going to sell for? And then somebody randomly won it or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. I don't really care either. It wasn't very fair, and it was just a bit of a joke, the whole thing, really. But I am thankful that they asked me to go on and do some stuff, even if it was a failure. I had fun. I really did have fun, and I love all that kind of stuff. When it goes to hell, and I had a Creality. I had a Creality T-shirt made up about a year or so ago, and I stood up and just opened my jacket to reveal this Creality logo, and nobody knew what to do. No, I could have just stripped off and just been like, "Yeah, baby," nobody would have done anything about it, and I don't want to do a tripod and piss everybody off so they never have me back on, but.
They would have just said, Sam appears to be excited.
You've still got to be entertaining with the stuff that you do, right? So, it's it's good. It's all good. It's all good.
I'm not entertaining enough?
Well, I tell you what, you've got a little bit funnier recently, I must say.
I think the dress helps.
What the hell is TomTop? So TomTop is a creality reseller that I'd never heard of until I think Carl was on their stream the other day. That's the one. So I then start typing goldfish, and then other people are then going goldfish. And when you start putting stuff in, they think they're going to win something. So
I agree with TK on that one. Somewhere else.
Maybe wear some clothes.
Yeah, I think
some are ready to check more on others.
Yeah,
it's fine.
Well, that's her thing, dude. You know, that's kind of a niche.
Yeah, but she's gonna have to have a different niche in 30 years.
Now, if she paid for those, they'll look the same.
Gosh.
Plastic does last a long time.
Yeah.
And she could probably just make herself a new set if she really needed to.
Big resin printer.
Oh man, I'm never gonna be on their streams ever again.
They've got those gel printers now, right? So they're well, I think Tim was showing us yesterday. Those gel printers, you can do it with that.
Oh yeah, the big gel one. Yes. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that $30,000 one or something that you found. Oh no, how much was the filament? It was like $10,000 for a filament.
Filament was $3,000 just for
$3,000.
The filament. The printer itself is probably about $100,000.
So Jerry, I haven't looked, but how does their new big resin printer compare to the other brands in that size? I think they come in at like they have 2,500 or something.
That's a good question.
I've only got the two from Anik and Frozen. There's only two mid-size I have. I haven't tried any others. Then my small ones, Elgu Mars. And at the moment, both the larger mid-size are when it just comes down to your settings with what resin.
Right.
When I put SriTech in either machine, it sends 10 fine without me doing much work. And then I put 3DRS resin and a couple others. I tend to have to do more,
Your microphone, Jerry, it seems to be clipping. I don't know if it's just me. Is it clipping for everybody else?
Well, he's also got some latency.
I've been lagging. Like, I don't know why. Something's up with his computer. Maybe OBS in the background. I've noticed when I try to move screens around, it's not working for me.
I think it's latency.
Did you have a tornado too, or what?
Yeah, the earthquake.
Yeah. No, not Las Vegas.
You missed it offline. Is that Jerry is like, I'm just waiting for Tripod to say he got an earthquake because of how bad.
Well, winter time, he said it's cold here, guys, and I don't know why my prints keep failing. It's cold out, and then he's having cell phone issues. Or the power went out, brownouts. The next going to be an earthquake. So,
yeah.
So, Henry, are you doing one of these droids, or are you just winning?
No. I would love to join. Work's been super busy because I teach in a university, so it's near the end of the semester. So I'm being hammered by like student question and marking and all that. But I got the CR6 Max and the N5 Plus. I can definitely do one. If you send me the link,
okay.
I'll try it.
That's brilliant. Okay, so I think we've got one more guest. There he is, Liam.
I just want to come in. I know all the rest of you. I've chatted with Henry so many times online, but we've never got to hang out.
Hello.
I'm Master Printer.
Nice to meet you.
Finally, we got to meet because we chatted stuff on forums and stuff, but we never got to meet. So you which one did you win today?
I got the LD006.
Awesome.
Okay. I wasn't on that chat. I wasn't on that. I was on the other two.
Yeah, honestly, I didn't even know about the live stream until like an hour in. I was like actually buying a cup of coffee in a local coffee shop, and then I look at the phone, like, oh shit, there's like a live stream, and then I quickly gone home. I didn't win until like the end. I mean that with the latency and everything, it was just like
Well, I made out like a bandit today.
I'm sorry.
I made out like a bandit today.
No kidding.
I won 2 printers.
Which one did you win?
I won one from TomTop, which is the CR6 Max, and then on the Android one, I won the new CR10 that they were showing.
Oh, nice!
And I won 2 spools of filament.
Wow!
Oh my goodness!
Hey,
buy a lottery.
Change the
Go
name.
buy a lottery ticket.
Liam should be the winner.
Kidding.
I'm not the winner.
Right.
Wow.
Just give me 6 numbers,
I know
Liam.
if you go to the
Jeez.
creality, if you go to the creality streams, they're so crowded. You've got slim and no chance of winning, right? Whereas if you, but the Tom Top wasn't that popular. They got about 90 people watching at any one time, maybe, and then maybe up to 120 at most. And then the Banggood one, they were bad. Like their audio was atrocious. Their feed was constantly bombing out because we're sharing bandwidth with the creality guys on the other side of the room. But once it got going, like I got my name in it near the very end, and then he just pulled out names. I was one away from the CR30. I don't care about the CR30 anyway. I don't have a need for it, but still, it was really cool. Like I pulled out 2 winners in a row.
Oh, look at Liam's name did change. Liam's name did change.
Oh, yes.
And and I have another unboxing tomorrow morning. I got another delivery today.
I'm gonna change the microphones real quick, guys.
Definitely, I'll check it
Well,
out.
we haven't got much longer left on the stream,
No.
but we are going to probably jump
I'll
back
see you
into droids just for a moment, and just kind of wondering where you guys want to get up to for next week's stream.
Well, I think that we should all try to at least have it built, and no electronics yet, like no hard wiring yet. Just have it built, and then because this is gonna be a longer one.
Yeah.
And then you have it the next, I don't know, I'm just throwing it out there. Then the next one is rolling and moving around. And then one after that is your finishing touches.
Okay. Well, before we go any further then, Jerry, can you raise your right arm up, please? Your hand up just like this. And I'd like you to repeat after me. I will not fully complete my droid within a week. And I will give other people a chance. Yeah, can we get to that far? Do you think?
No, we'll see.
Oh, and his mic is bizarre.
It's gonna take 3 weeks.
Oh, he's lagging. He's really lagging.
I think he said he's already finished 2 of them.
Oh, I don't know.
I think that's what he said.
Can you hear me at all?
A little bit.
It's just lagging a little bit, Jerry. Okay, let's all give him a chance to speak. Okay, go ahead, Jerry.
If I have to order 3, oops, wow. Hold on.
So, yeah,
Just a minute.
It's lagging a little bit here.
Big time lagging.
There's really nothing wrong with his stream. He's doing that so he doesn't have to break that promise.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
I don't know.
I don't let him know. He left.
All my parts in.
What?
Yeah, that was good. That
Uncle
was good,
Buck?
Sam. The building shouldn't be a problem. I think the biggest challenge, at least that I'm having, is sourcing the parts, the electronics, and the accessories.
Yeah.
So the building won't be a challenge. It's just
Yeah.
yeah.
Let's say let's get some things assembled. Again, it's not.
Can you hear me now?
It's,
Yeah.
yeah. Yep.
I shut down OBS, so I should be sounding good. If I have to order anything from overseas, from China, it'll take 2 or 3 weeks to get it. If I get all the parts done, I will probably build it with what I have, because when I post pictures online, it encourages other people to want to get involved and do what we're doing. But I won't have it painted next week or anything like that. And of course, I probably won't have all the LEDs in it, but it'll probably be driving around, I hope. And if it's not, but we'll see. We'll see.
We're causing a little trouble in the household here.
Domestic turmoil.
No, it's okay. We always know that Jerry's ahead of us. And
Swear, Jerry. Swear.
He's an overachiever.
Well, we also got Jason down there. Jason's pretty far along, and I bet you by next week he's driving his around the floor too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but his is
almost
missing a
ready to
leg.
start driving.
And
Well,
his
I'll
is
take
missing
mine
a-
apart. I'll take mine apart just so I can at least be on par, maybe slightly ahead of Tripod.
Yeah.
You know, Sam's on like his 3rd one now.
No, I'm doing a lot of the little droids at the moment. I've probably got another 4 of those on the go at the moment with various parts and stuff. So, and I'm kind of running low. So I am doing. I have got a new sponsor, which is a filament company that I am going to be giving away some filament next week on this live stream. Anywhere, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. Anywhere in the world,
no.
Anywhere in the world. Yeah, that's right. You heard it. Heard it here. Yeah. And, tune in next week. We're going to do the Wheel of Shame, and somebody will win some awesome filament. And I'm talking about some cheap stuff. I'm not talking about cheap filament. I'm talking about quality stuff.
Wow.
So done a really good deal with a filament company, which we will talk about next week. We'll probably add that to the flow of the stream as well when Tripod does the graphics. And tune in next week to see that. And there you go. Any other comments from anybody else?
Sam, do you know when or if Mr. Badley will be releasing any drawings or any specifics on the electronics for this, connectivity-wise?
Well, to be fair with you, Jason, I don't think there's too much to say. There's 2 motors in it, which are in the diagram already, and all we're talking about is a speed controller controlling 2 motors and obviously the dome. So I would say not.
Okay.
Yeah, because you got the NeoPixels as well. There's some, with the lights. And then you have the
and an Arduino he's got listed in there as well.
I PM'd him yesterday, asked him if there's any additional information, and I had a couple questions. He hasn't responded yet, but at some point he will, and then we'll know.
If we want to be honest with this is our closest.
What I'll do is let me speak to Michael and let me just sound him out on that and probably get him on the show. We just have a quick conversation with him about those particular parts. But in regards to getting the foundations of this right, if we can concentrate on the motors, the speed controllers, the batteries, that kind of thing over the next couple of weeks, having this thing moving around, that kind of stuff, and any kind of issues with the tracks and whatever else you may end up coming across. And then we'll look at the Adafruit stuff and the NeoPixels. It's probably the best bet.
Okay.
Yeah, no upskirting on this one, Tripod.
Oh shit! You ruined my.
This one doesn't
okay, so that's where I was talking about. This is basically a segue into going into an R2 type droid where you're getting to the head with the dome part that actually contains electronics, and you're getting into a more complicated build. This is, of course, the most complicated build yet, but this is the next evolution to getting to that point where we're actually throwing electronics into the dome, lights, and if we choose. Because I know I am. Jason, are you doing that too?
Yeah. Actually, I'm just gonna use. Well, I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I thought I might. Just go with some simple LEDs, just to keep it simple. But I don't know. I may go further with this one. I
actually ordered the 12
dip my toe
wire.
into it. Okay.
I want mine to have sound. I want it to have sound, so I don't know what's involved there.
Yeah. So you guys ordered the 6 wire? I ordered the 12. Just I don't know how many connections I'm gonna need. So I figured I'll order the 12 wire pass through and see what.
I ordered the 6. I got on eBay. I didn't want to order from China because it takes 3 weeks for the pass through part. And so I found somebody in Kentucky, and I go, wow, cool. In Kentucky, I can get it in a few days. And he must have ordered it. He or she must have ordered from China because I'm not getting it till the 22nd. So I got a link from Jason on eBay where I ordered one for the same price. So now I've got one coming Sunday and 5 more coming in 2 weeks. So I'll have plenty for other droids.
Well, post that link in chat.
Yeah, I want to do the lights.
I can do that.
Sorry.
What we may also do is probably set up a Facebook group for this community,
good idea.
so we can just post. I know there's a lot of stuff on Badleys, but if we're doing this kind of together, then I think probably sharing the resources is going to be useful within that sort of small community. So we'll get to that working tomorrow, and we'll throw some links up, and you'll kind of know where to find that.
Yeah, because we all have progression stuff. I take a lot of pictures of my power outages and stuff that people love to see. But anyways, I ordered the 12. It's called a electrical slip. It's like when your steering wheel, as Sam mentioned last week, steering wheel on your car is a perfect example where you have your cruise control, any other media functions, and you're able to turn your wheel, and the electrical still passes through. I ordered a 12 wire for mine, not knowing how many wires I'm going to need to be able to pass through the base into the dome. So we'll see. Because I plan on doing the NeoPixels and maybe some other beeps, sweeps, and creeps, from space.
Yeah, but for audio, won't you need to have a Pi or something in there to play the audio?
Yeah, I don't know. Well,
Sam,
because an Adreno won't play audio.
Yeah, it will. It will actually, because you can trigger it to do so.
Yeah,
So,
you have to have the circuit set up, and you just turn it on or off with the Adreno to say play or not play. Yeah.
no, you have an MP3 trigger.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So you may end up going down the route that actually you don't use RC. You could use Xbox 360 control. There's a bunch of stuff you can do with this, but it's how far you want to take this particular project. And if it's about speed and throwing it around, Arduinos, in my opinion, aren't great in little droids like this because they're going to be knocked around. You're going to have pins flying out all over the place. You're going to have to glue them in. It's sometimes a little bit more hassle than it's worth. What a lot of people do, especially, so I'll give you an example. BB-8, you got the round ball, and then you've got the dome on top, right? What happens with that? There are two controls. There's one in the head and one in the body, and hang on, that went weird there for a second. So my screen just went off. I was like, what the hell just happened there? Anyway, so you got the top and the bottom, and they're controlled off two different things. Okay, you've got a magnet that holds the head on, and this kind of rod that moves around like this. Yeah, so that's what moves the head about. So, in short, you've got a little power pack and battery pack in the head, and you've also got one in the body. So what a lot of people do in the R2 building community is they have the power bank in the body and also one in the top. So you could do kind of like a bi battery, or you could just have a slip ring with two cables going up, your positive and negative, and run a separate switch on it. But it all depends on how complicated you want it to be. If you're using Bluetooth or Wi-Fi or something else that's not on your 2.4 gig battery or receiver, you can flick the switches if you wanted to. It all depends on how you want to set this. But as you said, Liam, you can trigger stuff via a switch or a servo or whatever you want. But generally, the way to work it is via an MP3 trigger board.
Yeah, well, you could do that. Or I said if you use the Pi, you could actually have the Adreno open and close a circuit from the controller.
Yeah,
and that would actually activate GPIO pins on the Pi, and then the Pi would actually play the audio based on which GPIO pins are being active.
Yeah.
Again, it's not my super chat button, but it never happened, so I can't test it. Maybe next time. Oh yeah, when we get done streaming here,
super chat.
There you go.
Here's the one I got. I can't hear it, so I guess it's playing.
It is.
It is.
That sounds good. Sounds good.
So
3D
Sam,
Print Llama is going live here in a little bit. So as soon as we get done here, if you guys want to go check out 3D Print Llama, he has a great channel, and he'll be going live talking about blue tape or working on his garage or something. He's interested.
Would you say working on frogs?
No, his garage.
Okay, that's what I thought I heard.
He's been working on different projects in his garage.
That's a different channel, John.
Oh,
that's a totally different channel.
Oh, the frog building channel is another channel.
Yeah.
Well, everybody else thinks duct tape is the answer to everything, because as far as llama is concerned, it's blue tape.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's, but yeah.
He does a lot of work in Fusion. He has a lot of designs up on Thingiverse also. So.
Now I'm going to throw this out there. There is someone expecting in this stream here, and when that happens, we will be on hiatus for a little bit.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm still expecting to be able to stream, and what we've decided is I'm still going to come in and stream, but I'll be up doing the night feeds as well. So yeah. Oh, I've got a bit of lag as well, mate. Now I've caught the Jerry. Look at that.
Yeah.
Caught the Jerry.
Actually, you're fine over here.
Way, look at that.
Well, if you're doing night feeds, that means it'll work right out with your streaming. You'll be up anyway.
Super chat.
Thank you, Non-Stick. I appreciate that. Thank you, buddy.
Very cool.
Thank you, buddy. Lovely.
All right.
Yeah, well, thanks very much, guys. Tune in next time. And if you've got any questions, we're going to set that group up this week. I'll probably do it tomorrow. One of the guys will set it up tomorrow. Please hang out in there. Do what you need to do. And yeah, any other questions before I go?
Nope.
So where's the link?
Please like, subscribe to everybody. Go over to Mr. Bagley's group. $5 a month. Join his Patreon. Start building some droids with us.
Mm-hmm. So Sam, you're gonna set up the group tomorrow, or are you gonna put it on your Facebook feed, or where are we gonna find that?
So you'll be able to find that on my Facebook feed. You'll also be able to find that on my YouTube chat thing that I realised is a thing. You know, where you can post up, you know, posts and stuff. So that'll be on that. We'll make sure you're included on it though, and you know, we'll We'll keep it real. Don't worry.
Stick me on it as well, because when I start building the full-size droid, I'll need help.
It sounds good. Yeah, no problem.
But I
at all.
need help anyway. But I need more help.
Well, I don't know. You got to talk to Henry. You're his competition. So
No, I win. He got one winner. I got two. I'm sorry.
I think he totally beat me there. Like I literally just got on, type an answer, and I won. But he literally sat there for 3 hours and won like 5 things. Hands down.
I won 3. So.
And a very special thank you to this man right above me, Tim DeWitt. He can broadcast on many channels. He's in 1080p. He has all the StreamYard on his business running it through his business, and he can do a lot more than all we can individually. So I only pay like $25 a month. I can only stream to 3 channels in 720p, and Tim has the hookup. So,
and he
well
also
done, well done.
And then he also created the intro, the new intro.
Yeah, very good job. Very good job at that.
Excellent.
Awesome.
Awesome music.
Yeah, I'll try better on my next thumbnail. I was really pissing off Jerry because he kept on sending me pictures I couldn't crop out.
Yeah, the closet things. Yeah, he's like, put a tablecloth under it. No, change the tablecloth. No, dude, I'm not going to keep changing. He was messing with me at that point. But yeah, I was trying to.
I wasn't messing with you. I couldn't do the.
Yeah, I know. I tried the same thing and it disappeared too. I went to Sticker Mule, the Trace app, and Sticker Mule free feature, and it cuts your things out. So I was having issues also there. But yeah.
Okay, chaps. Well, thank you very much. Over and out, and we will see you next time.
Bye, everybody.
It's been a slice.